Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I'm going to be playing some Mario Bros, or Mario Brothers, however you want to call it, on the Atari 5200. Now this is a system that I am not 100% familiar with. Um, it's kind of like, it's one of those systems I just kind of skipped over. Because I got used to the Atari 2600, and I played that when I was younger. And then I kind of jumped right into the Atari 7800. And then later on, I got the Atari 400, which is, kind of going all over the place with the Atari. Now, the 5200 has always been, something that I was curious about. It's just a system that I don't know. It's got a lot of history to it, and there's a lot of ups to it. There's a lot of downs to it. There's a lot of talk about the controllers, and lots of people make fun of it, and then other people praise it. There's even a movie that was almost entirely dedicated to this system. Well, I wouldn't say dedicated to it, but I mean it talked a lot about it and it showed the system off, and that was Cloak and Dagger, and that was in the early 80s. I did a video on that. I did a flick pics actually on that video, on that movie I should say, and yeah, I mean that was like a big Atari 5200 commercial. Now the system itself is great. I mean it's huge. It's a big system. The cartridges are huge. Um, Now, the downsides to it were that the controllers were proprietary little ports that only that system uses. So it wasn't easy for people to just go out and get new controllers. You almost had to like repair them when they broke, and apparently they broke quite a bit. I don't know. I've heard stories from people saying no, they don't, and I've heard the other stories. The other thing is they're not self-centering, which I don't know. I'm not familiar with that because all the joysticks I've ever played are always self-centering. What that means is when you're using the joystick, if you let go of it, it goes right back to the center. Whereas these joysticks, they kind of stay there. So you kind of have to put it back to the center. So when you're playing games like Pac-Man and all that stuff, where you gotta gotta be quick to have the joystick kind of not go back to the center, it could be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Anyways, I'm going to be playing this. I'm playing this on an emulator. I don't have an actual 5200. I contemplated on picking one up. Maybe one day in the future, if I get one at a good price, I might consider it. But when I did my video back in the day, not back in the day, not that far back, but I did a video where I was talking about what should I get for my next system, and I ended up picking up the Atari 400, which I still think was a wise choice. Anyways, let's check this out. This is Mario Brothers. So as you can see, the graphics are much better than the 2600. And if you recall, I did a video on the 2600 Mario Brothers. And yeah, this is, night and day. A lot of green though. I don't know why it's so green. I'm not sure if the arcade version was this green. Like, even the turtles seem very green. Huh. But anyways, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Seems to play pretty solid. It's got some nice sound effects. Mario moves kind of smooth. It's weird seeing him in a blue jumpsuit. I don't know why, at what point did Mario become, wearing a red jumpsuit? Oh, jeez. Now, the thing you have to keep in mind in this game, you can't jump on the turtles. In Super Mario Brothers, you jump on the turtles. In this one, you have to knock them from underneath. Just like I did there. Whoops. And I just bopped them right back into existence. So when you bump them from underneath, they go into a little shell. And at that point, you can knock them off off the board. Okay, that's fireball-y thing is coming after me. Let's do the POW. It's interesting, the POW, I believe, started in this game, and then wasn't reintroduced until Super Mario Bros. 2. Well, the Super Mario Bros. 2 that we got in North America, not the, I don't know if it was in the Doki Doki Panic one. Maybe it was? But either way, that's from what I remember. The POW made its its return in the Super Mario Bros. 2, and then it was in Super Mario 3, and pretty much in almost every Mario game after that. The POW block has always been a big thing. Now, its function was a little bit different. In this one, in the original Mario Bros. Game, the function of the POW is really just to turn all the turtles upside down. Almost as if you hit them all at once. But in Super Mario Bros. 2 and all that stuff, it started to take on a different role. You know, even in Super Mario 3, it turned all the blocks into coins and all that stuff. So those are those, like, crab-like things. So those look kind of odd. Looks like they have one giant eye. Now these ones you have to actually... You have to hit them twice to kind of make them fall asleep. I think I'm dead. Oh, okay, got him. Yeah, these guys are a little bit tough. Actually, I'm finding this game to be a lot tougher. So you can really tell that that's a coin. Whoa, fireballs everywhere. I like that when you jump, you see the platform kind of raise up a little bit. I think that was actually in the arcade one. I haven't actually played the arcade version yet. That's on my list of games I need to try, is the actual arcade version of Mario Bros. I don't even have it on the Nintendo. It's one of the Black Label games that came out for Nintendo. Somehow just never got my hands on one. There's definitely a skill to this one. Oh, this one's a little bit tough. Thing is, I don't see any mustache on Mario. Whoa! Just got charred. And he turned orange. Looks like I'm on my last life now. He kind of runs a little bit clunky, and his jumps are really big. I don't really like the big jump. Oh. Keep hitting that POW thing. I don't like his jump. It's too big. He soars through the air too much, which makes it difficult for you to determine when he's gonna land. Some turtles. Whoa. The sound almost kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong. Of course, that's the first game where we got Mario from. The sound, though, I mean, that's kind of arcade sound, if you think about it. That's traditional arcade sound, so I could see how a lot of people would have really enjoyed the sound effects on this one. Whoa! There's a lot of turtles. You just got... Oh, look at that! The turtle gets out of his shell and actually kicks it over. That's some pretty cool animation there. Like, oh, I hit him. Oh, look at that. There was water down there. I didn't know there was supposed to be water underneath. I guess you're in a sewer. That kind of makes some sense now. That's why there's, like, pipes and all that stuff. But you don't see any water at the bottom, so... I've never seen that animation before where he dies and you see, like, water splash up. But that's pretty neat. Perhaps that's also in the arcade. You know, again, I haven't had the time to check that one out, but it's definitely on my list of must-plays for my arcade section. Oh. The hit detection on this is kind of not the greatest. How long can I stand here? Let's see. Does he eventually fall? No, just kind of stands in midair. Oh, geez, touched the fireball. Just cooked myself. Ugh. Wonder why they have a demo. What does that serve? Now I'm using an actual gamepad for this. I'm not using any like joystick controller. I'm actually using the same gamepad I use for my Nintendo games. So it's actually a Nintendo controller. Well, not a real Nintendo controller. It's called a Retro Link, but it mimics the Nintendo controller. It's a little bit lighter. Oops. But, you know, it does the job. My other controller, the one that I use for my Atari streams and all that, didn't work with this one. I couldn't get it to detect the buttons, which was odd. And so I tried this one, and it detected all the buttons, so... The setup for this 5200 emulator was a little bit tricky. Yes. Just wait. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about this version. I've definitely played better variants of Mario Brothers than this one. Oh, jeez. And I'm not crazy about everything being green. I think they could have made the platforms some other color. But there's probably like a, you know, a limitation there due to the system. Would have been neat if this game actually appeared on the ColecoVision. Pretty sure it didn't. You know, Donkey Kong was the big game of the ColecoVision, but I'm pretty sure this one didn't make it on there. For whatever reason. Perhaps they had a deal with Atari or something. Whoa, no! You know, my problem is I'm so used to Mario being able to do a lot more things that when you play this game, it's like, you know, he's very basic. He literally can just jump. Can't do all those tricks that he does in Super Mario Bros. Look out! He can jump backwards pretty good. Ah, that fireball. Yeah, this one's definitely tougher than the 2600 version for sure. I don't seem to be getting very far in this one. I don't know. I don't know what it is. If it's the controls or something, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty fun. I mean, that's Mario Bros. On the Atari 5200. I'm going to explore this system a little bit more. I'm going to try some more games on it. There's a lot of games for the you know, all the Ataris have a lot of games, so it's nice to actually come in and explore some ones that I've never played before. But this was quite interesting. I don't know if it's my favorite, but, you know, I got a lot more to go. So, you know, feel free to suggest some titles down there just in case. I don't know all the different titles for the Atari 5200, so it'd be interesting to hear what you have to say. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.